Fake. I'm Brady, a 15-year-old goalkeeper for the U15 at Sporting Kansas City. I'm super pumped for today's episode because I have a special guest joining me. He's a talented goalkeeper from Portland Timbers. Please welcome Maverick. Maverick, thanks for being here. Let's get into these questions.
Yeah,
First off, what inspired you to become a goalkeeper for Portland Timbers, and can you tell us a little bit about your journey with the club so far?
yeah, it's been obviously it's been a long journey. Yeah, even though being 15 years old, it's been a hell of a ride. I mean, it's been worth it, all the sacrifices I made. But yeah, definitely playing with the Timbers has been an interesting ride. I used to play at Real Salt Lake my 15s year, and that didn't work out, and I ended up finding this place, Timbers, even though I never thought I would be here one day. But everything happens for a reason. That's what I say, and I'm here now, and I'm very grateful to be here. That everybody here that supported me, especially my father, he's helped me through everything. So yeah, it's been an interesting journey to say the least.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you think you could tell us a little bit about what it was like from transferring academy to academy? Because, like for me, example, I moved from Virginia to Kansas City for sporting, but we don't hear many stories about keepers going from academy to academy because of the span in MLS Next is so short. Could do you think you could explain a little bit about what it was like transferring?
Yeah. It was interesting because as soon as I left RSL, I was like, where am I gonna go next? Because I never thought I was leaving RSL ever. Like that wasn't. I thought I would be there until I go to college or sign a professional contract. And when that just when I left, it was just like it was just such a weird feeling, and I'm grateful enough to played well enough against other teams in flex and fast and all that, that teams were just like, he's like, "We love to have you out here, and we'd love to have you on our team." So it was a good feeling, especially that I wasn't like not finding like nobody was wanting me. It was interesting. It was also weird because like obviously I wanted just to like get right back on the train, even though it just took time, especially with summer, so teams were off. But I was very grateful that so many teams were interested after I left, and I'm just very grateful because the opportunities I've been given, and yeah.
100%. Um, Preparing for a game is crucial. Can you walk us through your pregame routine, and do you have any specific rituals and maybe a pregame playlist that you listen to on the way there?
Oh yeah, I gotta get into that one. So yeah, so we play every morning. I mean, doesn't really matter for me. Wake up time. Wake up time is whatever time we have to go get breakfast. All of that. I always but one thing I do, I listen to two songs. I always listen to. There are like some interesting songs that I wouldn't say no more people listen to, but um, and also I before a game, I'm always with Timbers, I'm always on like the we have a big speaker, and I'm always on the aux, or that's what they say. And I always play music because we haven't lost at home yet since I've played it, so it's kind of like a little ritual thing. And then kind of just before a game, I kind of, because it's cold out here in Portland, got to wear the sweats and all that. I kind of just go left sock, right sock, then left shoe, right shoe. And then I warm up, I do the same thing, and for a game, right, I stand on the line, my feet don't cross it, and the ref blows the whistle. I jump up, slap the crossbar, and I slap my hands, and the rest is history. And play game.
Yeah. So it sounds like you've kind of got it down at this point. You got the sock and shoe order down as well.
Yeah.
Mistakes are a part of the game. When you make a mistake during a match, what techniques do you use to shake it off and stay focused?
Oh, that's the big part about goalkeeping. It's a big mental game. Like you if you don't have the mental, it's just so hard to play. For me, biggest moment is when I make a mistake or something. I just try to keep my head off and just stay positive because like I know like especially I got such a supportive system here at Timbers that they're gonna like just they're gonna hype me up even though if I make a mistake, but just like not to get in the head, like say if you give up a goal, don't lay down and pout, get up, move on, and just you just gotta keep playing. You just like you can't think about the past, you gotta live in the present.
Yeah. So me personally, on my mental game, it took me a few years to kind of figure out how to get over a mistake, and maybe in a game I would make a mistake and then soon after make another mistake. For you, how long did it take you to fully understand how you get over mistakes and how you can move on with the rest of the game.
Fortunately for me, I was very, very lucky to have my dad. He's a therapist, so he does this stuff that's like literally his living. So he was there and he helped me figure this out very young. So that was also a big thing that very helped me. But like, everybody has their struggles. I went through a period of time where I was just like figuring out who I was as a player because everybody has that moment. It's like, is this really what I want? And that typically happens when you make mistakes in games. And you're like, is this really like, what am I doing? Stuff like that. But I was fortunate enough to have my father to help me with that, and I'm very grateful.
Yeah. As goalkeepers, we often feel a lot of pressure. How do you cope a tough loss and what strategies do you use to bounce back from it?
For me, obviously with the loss, it's not the greatest, but with the wins makes it even better. But with the loss, I mean, I just try to keep my head up and pick up my players, and I just try to be the best team I could possibly be with them. Because if I'm gonna be a bad role model, then who's gonna be a good one?
Yeah. I feel like on a lot of the teams that the goalkeepers sometimes have to be the captain for the team, commanding the back of the field because we could see everything and all that's going on. So I feel like for most teams, it's important to have the keeper as the captain because I feel like we're the supporting base of the whole team. Being the last line of defense, it's important that we have our teammates' backs in all scenarios.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I couldn't
Yeah,
agree better myself. I wish my team doesn't really necessarily do that, but because I'm new, they wouldn't choose me. But I agree. That's like one of the things I stand by. And like nobody really like you can have a captain, but no real leaders on the team like the goalies. So they're the real leaders of the team, and they see everything. It's not just that; it's also the communication. The communication is key. But I generally think that every goalkeeper should be the captain because they're just the loudest, they talk the most, they get feedback, it's all that. They're all the good stuff.
yeah. Every athlete makes sacrifices to pursue their dreams. Can you share some sacrifices you've made both on and off the field to become a goalkeeper at Timbers?
I made many, many sacrifices in my career. First one was when I was 14 years old and I decided to move to Salt Lake City, Utah, and play with Real Salt Lake away from my family and lived in a dorm. That was very tough just because I'm living away from my family and obviously it's not like the great like you want to live with them and that was really challenging, and when I left RSL, that was very challenging 'cause it was hard to get back to used to living at home, and then I'm also fortunate enough then I got offered to live in the house that they have here, and there's only, like, 5, 6 players, and it's like the top people in the club, and I mean, it's kinda used to it, but I've made many sacrifices, I've lost friends, I've lost family. I've lost people that I've loved and trusted over the years that they're just fading away because I'm making this my career and my life, and this is just part of the game. Yeah.
So, when you first went to RSL, did you live with the host family in a dorm?
So RSL, they had a dorm with about 70 kids that could live in there. So there's about 58 kids that lived there, and it was a big, humongous place. It was kind of chaos there because just there's so many people and just like it was kind of crazy, but living in the dorm, it was like because there RSL's the only team in America or in MLS that has like a residential home for every player. So that was like it was good how they like built it and all that. It was a little overwhelming living there with all the guys because you see
Yeah,
them every day, and when you're competing with them, it just gets bad blood at that point
yeah.
because
I
you see
could
them
only
every second.
imagine going to Fest and having to share a hotel room with 3 teammates is chaos. I could only
Oh
imagine
yeah,
what it's like being with so many teammates.
yeah.
Throughout your time at Portland Timbers, have you faced any significant challenges or obstacles, and have injuries impacted your journey at all?
Yeah, I've had some injuries in my past and I've had some ups and some downs. So before I went to the Timbers, I played with the New York Red Bulls and I went to Austria with them for a big tournament. And I was there for about a month and my first week there I tore my hamstring. Like it just messed it up big time. And I sat out for a week and I ended up playing on it and I went to the tournament, played really well, but it's obviously still lingers a little bit, but But like another thing, especially being with here at Timbers, was came in such late in the season. Not really late, just I've only been here for 4 months, so it hasn't been a lot. So just kind of coming in with these players, been here for 3.5 years, and I'm just starting out. It was just kind of hard for me to build my own as a person there, and as a goalkeeper, just it was hard, but I found my way in there, and I'm loving it.
Yeah. Going back on injuries, what are your opinions on finger saves and goalkeeper gloves?
As a kid, I used to wear them all the time, but when I got older, I stopped using them, and I don't use them now at all. I tape my fingers if needed, but besides that, I don't wear finger saves. I think they're more for younger kids, and but like when you get to that level, they're just I feel like the mobility is key with the how hard these kids are hitting these days, and it's
Yeah.
just kind of hard.
Yeah. I agree with you to a point, but I like the gloves that have the removable ones so you can put them in certain fingers
Yeah,
if you need them.
I like the West Coast. Those are my gloves.
I used to wear West
The
Coast back in the day, but HO now, baby. Who are some of the goalkeepers or players you look up to now, and have they influenced your game at all?
Yeah, big time. Some big pros. Like as a kid, I always grew up watching the United States men's national team, and my favorite player of all time is Tim Howard, and I grew up watching him, especially how he dealt with Tourette's and all that, and just how he overcame his just all of that. He just as somebody I look up to, and I want to protect or critique my game to be just like him.
Yeah. Tim Howard was a I thought he was an interesting goalkeeper because he was just kind of on the line to like modern day technique and goalkeeping. So going back and watching like a USA game from like 8 years ago is crazy how different the goalkeeping style is back then to how it is now in just a short distance. Because I had recently watched the highlights to a game that Tim Howard had played in, and it's just completely different to a normal MLS next game that you would watch today.
Yeah, totally different.
Yeah. How do you build chemistry with your defenders and communicate efficiently with them during training and in games?
For me personally, I try to keep a like a relationship on the field and off the field. That's key because I don't want my defenders not liking me. It's not something that's not gonna be pleasant in the games. So I try to keep a good relationship with my defenders. So like that's just what I just try to do. And we just talk, and when if we're not agreeing in games, I'll take them in for a corner, and I'll be like, I need you to do this. We can talk about it later, but I need you to listen to me now. It's just more of building relationship with them, and just it's that's key. It's just having a relationship off the field is probably the biggest one for me.
100% agree. That's probably the most important relationship on the field as a goalkeeper and a defender.
Yeah.
Looking ahead, what are your goals for the season and beyond, and there any specific achievements you're aiming for either personally or for the team?
Yeah, I've had some personal goals I've been waiting for. My biggest one is to get my call up to the United States U16 national team. It's been one of the goal of mine to be called up, and I feel like this year I have a really good chance of how I've been playing just in general. I feel like let alone I feel like I deserve it, but I feel like everybody else will see eventually. So that's one of my biggest goals. And for my team is the Portland Timbers. Obviously, I want to win GA Cup. I think that's everybody's GA Cup and MLS Next Cup. I was fortunate enough last year at RSL to make playoffs and make it to the quarterfinals of GA Cup, and I'm very grateful to play that. Um, but yeah, I just want to do as best as I can and just to prove to everybody. And hopefully, as the season ends, I will get my call up with the MLS Next Pro team at Timbers, and yeah, get my first professional minutes.
Yeah, that's definitely one of my goals as well is to play for the second team. But also, I am very excited for GA Cup. Unfortunately, we weren't able to play in it this year, but I think it's amazing how they have all different countries coming to the one tournament to play.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Lastly, what advice would you give to young goalkeepers aspiring to make it in a competitive environment like MLS Next?
I would say just take your time, don't rush it, man. I waited so long to get where I am today. It's not a rush. You take your time. It's just you can't rush it. You're gonna get it eventually. If you put your mind to something, you'll do it. And if you, what I say is, everything happens for a reason. So if you put the hard work and dedication in, I don't see why not. You can do whatever you want to be and be whatever you want.
Yeah. All right. Is there anything you want to end it off on?
I have nothing to say. If you have anything, any other questions for me, then I'm all for it.
All right. I'm going to end it off. Thank you so much, Maverick, for joining me on The Real versus the Fake. It was great to hear your insights and experience, and I wish you all the best this upcoming season. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Don't forget to subscribe for more episodes where we'll explore the soccer view from a player's perspective.